Hi guys, it's Hezron again, and I just want to talk about me being a self-taught pianist. Now, first off, right off the bat, I'm not here to debate whether what's better, being self-taught or having a teacher. 'Cause that's as stupid as having a debate about what's better, playing by ear or reading by sheet music. It's good to have both. Period. If possible, anyway. If possible, it's good to have both reading sheet music or playing by ear. No doubt about it. It'd be a stupid silly debate, and the same thing applies for whether having a teacher and being a self-taught pianist. Do both. If possible, do both. Have a teacher and learn by yourself. It's really as simple as that. You learn by yourself at as fast a rate, and your teacher will correct your mistakes. It's really that simple. That's what I encourage my students to do too. But but now you might see that I might be a sort of a hypocrite because I'm a self-taught pianist myself. And let me tell you off the bat that because I was a self-taught pianist, I've had a lot of drawbacks and still am having a lot of drawbacks because of it. For about 6 years, I was so behind. I was maybe playing at about grade 4 level for about 6 years. And then something happened, and I'll get into that later. It's really boosted me. Okay, so what really stopped me? What kind of person am I that I never had a teacher? Money wasn't the issue. I could have had a teacher at multiple times. In fact, I tried to have a teacher many of times, about 4, 5 times. Now, from an early age, I understood that I was never the kind of person that like getting talked to or being taught by anyone else. That applied for maths, that applied for science, English, whatever, and music too. Teaching, having a piano teacher never worked out. It wasn't the way that I personally learned how to play the piano. Over time, I realized that the way I learned to play the piano was different from most people's. Shut up, phone, not the right time. At the time, I realized that I learned by just the hard way. It was like I had to learn a big lesson in order to learn how to play the piano. For example, for a long time I learned to bash the keys. After a while, I learned that that wasn't the way to play it. I received a lot of flack, a lot of hate for it, and I learned to stop doing that. And that is the way I learned. And it can be debated for a long time whether I don't know. But all I knew is that I never learned by someone telling me how to do it. I learned by the fact that I kept on trying and that I did it really wrong. I went tens and tens of like recitals and plays and whatever concerts we were gonna call them. And most of those times I did them really, really, really badly. If I had a teacher, that wouldn't have happened. But remember, that's not the point here. The point is I couldn't have had a teacher anyway because that's not the way I learned. Okay, so after the times I played really badly, each of those times was a learning step in the right direction. Yeah, and soon I realized that was the way forward. And even now, my teacher is still saying, "Get a pianist, get a teacher, get that, blah blah blah." But that's not the way I learn. And you need to realize that every person is different. Some people learn by getting a book out, reading it, going on YouTube, or maybe seeing someone else do it, and then like that. And I'm not gonna lie to you, being a self-taught pianist isn't easy, and I was behind the rest of the crowd for a long time, and I still am to this day. Okay? My technique was poor for many years. The way I postured myself to the piano was poor for many years, and in a lot of ways it still is. And I know this, but I can't. But just by telling me, I won't get over it. I'm gonna have to go and play somewhere big, and then for someone to really get down to me, that was really bad, blah blah blah. You're sitting really bad, and then I'm gonna have to learn from that way. I learned the hard way. That's the way I learn. And what happened to me to make me learn that I needed to get the better technique and the better, you know, and the better technique and that kind of stuff, I had to get Hiromi into my life. And as soon as Hiromi, I know this is really cliche by now, but as soon as Hiromi came into my life, that was when I was inspired to do the hard stuff. That was when I was inspired to do all this amazing technique and blah, 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 blah. Before then, my greatest inspirer was Hirama, and he's still my greatest inspirer today. But his songs are like grade 4, grade 3 level, probably even lower. Nothing hard, nothing too challenging. And that was what I was inspired to. Another point about me, I will only do something for 2 reasons. If I'm inspired to do it, aka if I enjoy to do it, or if I get paid for it. There's only 2 reasons I want to do something. In whatever thing I do, whether that's doing maths, doing work, doing music, that's what I have to do. So the only way I was ever going to play hard music is if I was inspired to. Yes, it was cool to watch Mozart play very fast and all those first pieces, but I didn't personally really dig Mozart. But as soon as Hiromi came along, though, everything changed. I fell in love with this woman. I'm not going to lie. I actually fell in love with this great, great woman, and she taught me all the things necessary. She basically said to me, in my mind, I'm not going to get anywhere unless I play like that. And as soon as that happened, I started going through the scales. I started doing everything because I knew that was the way forward. And that was the way I learned, by inspiration. I know a lot of you out there can just do what the teacher says, but a lot of my students can just do that. But that's not the way I do it, okay? And so I did all the stuff. I did the scales. And another thing as well, actually. You know about your hands have to be curved? I think that's very stupid. Your teacher's telling you to do that, but you have no idea why. Now, for a long time, my hands were always flat until I started doing my scales and playing them really fast. Because I realised, in order to play the scales really, really fast, you have to have the curved fingers. Otherwise, the technique will not come off good. And that is why I learned it. I could not learn something unless I know the reason behind it. And that's as simple as me. And that's the way I act. I'm different from everyone else, yeah? I worked in a different way. So that's why I was self-taught. You may want to get a teacher. That's fine. Everyone's to their own. People want to get both. Some people want to be self-taught. And for some people, money is an issue as well. Money wasn't an issue in my case. I could have had lessons multiple times. But up till now, I still don't want them. The only person that I'd want to teach me at this moment in time is Hiromi. Why? Not because she's the best pianist out of all time. Because she inspires me. I want to listen to a person that inspires me. You don't go to if you're a scientist, you don't go to a conference where the person's invented something you don't care about, in a genre you don't care about. You go to something which inspires you. But for some reason, in this industry nowadays, you just listen to your teacher, and then, that's who you do. But for me, I can't do that. I can't do that. It's as simple as that. I don't know why. And it's a drawback. I'm still struggling. But I don't want a teacher. I could pay for lessons as much as I want right now. But I don't want them unless I was playing by Hiromi. And Hiromi doesn't offer lessons. And plus she doesn't live in the UK. Otherwise, Hiromi would be at my house every single day. But that's just who I am. And I guess people have to accept that. And I hate it when teachers say, oh, get a piano teacher. It's so much better. Oh my gosh. A piano teacher will not make me better because I will not be bothered to listen to them. Because that's who I am. That's not the way I learn. They have a lot to give, but that's not the way I learn. They have a lot. They teach a lot of stuff. They correct your mistakes. They correct all the stuff that you do because they have a lot of experience. But that's not the way I learn. So if you're out there and you're struggling, you say to yourself, you don't want a pianist, you don't want a teacher. That's not what you learn. Don't get one. Because I'm living proof that I'm not perfect, but I can make results happen. There's Chinese guys that are 7 years old and 10 years old better than me, and they're way better than me, but guess what? End of the day, that's not the way I learn, and that's the way unfortunately it's going to have to be. So people have to accept that, and that's just the way I am. So until the next video, thank you for listening, and for anyone who has listened this far, thank you very much. You are a really true fan. Thank you very much.